Last-minute bombshell. Star attacker with 73 goals and 22 assists has refused to rule out a move to Tottenham. Welcome back to Tottenham News Today channel. Ben Jacobs' latest update on Harry Kane will come as music to the ears for Tottenham fans. There have been recent speculations regarding Harry Kane's future ever since the £65 million release clause in his contract at Bayern has come to light. The likes of Manchester United and Arsenal have been linked with him, but a return to Tottenham is also a very likely possibility. Harry Kane refusing to rule out return to Tottenham. Reputable journalist Ben Jacobs has claimed that there is a willingness on Kane's part regarding a return to North London, with the refusing to rule out a move to Tottenham. However, he added that it remains to be seen whether Levy will be open to spend the significant amount to bring the club legend back, given their recent investment in Dominic Solanke, who also cost them £65 million. Speaking to Give Me Sport, Jacobs stated, "I think if Kane returns to the Premier League, there is a willingness to go back to Spurs. That's not been ruled out by the player. We have to wait and see if there's an appetite for Tottenham to do that deal, especially with Dominic Solanke." The England captain enjoyed a remarkable career with Spurs, featuring in an impressive 430 matches, scoring an outstanding 278 goals and providing 64 assists during his tenure with the club. He left the club to join Bayern Munich last season, where he continued his outstanding goal-scoring form. In his debut season, he scored 36 goals and assisted another 8 in 32 Bundesliga games and 44 goals across all competitions. This season, he has scored 21 goals in 20 league games, taking his tally for the campaign to 29 goals and 10 assists in 31 games across all competitions. Since joining Bayern, he has scored an incredible 73 goals and assisted another 22 in 76 games across all competitions. With the form he is in, it will not be a surprise to see Premier League clubs try and bring him back to England. Tottenham appear to be on the verge of a significant transformation, with growing speculation about a potential takeover of the club. However, the biggest talking point isn't just the prospect of new ownership, but the possibility that Daniel Levy could remain in charge even after a sale is completed. Qatari investors showing interest in Tottenham, but Levy could stay. Former Sky Sportsman Richard Keys reported yesterday that the Tottenham takeover by the Qatari investors is close to completion. Journalist Dan Kilpatrick has now highlighted this situation on the Rule the Roost podcast, noting that Qatari investors have indeed shown concrete interest in purchasing Spurs. What adds intrigue to the narrative is the claim that Levy is eager to retain his role as executive chairman, even if ENIC becomes a minority partner in the club's future. Kilpatrick admitted he hasn't been able to verify these reports fully, but acknowledged that the idea of Levy staying on post-takeover has been circulating for some time. He suggested this could create a curious dynamic for any incoming ownership group, as Levy has become a polarising figure among Spurs supporters. Kilpatrick stated, "There has been interest from Qatar, and I think it is fair to say that it's kind of well known and well talked about that Levy would kind of like to stay on in the event of ENIC becoming potentially a minority partner. You know, I haven't written that because I haven't kind of been able to double source it, but I don't mind saying it because it's been reported and yeah, it's been rumoured for a while. I mean, in terms of my take on that, I find it very, very interesting because I think Levy does feel like, I hesitate to say the word toxic because it might be a bit strong, but you know, obviously there's a lot of unrest towards him by supporters. So it's almost hard to imagine that a company would buy Spurs and then say, we want to keep this guy who's a kind of lightning rod for frustrations in place. Despite these commercial successes, Levy's time at the top has been marred by Tottenham's lack of trophies. The lack of ambition to win silverware has left the Tottenham supporters frustrated. There is a mutual feeling among the fans that Levy needs to go. There was a massive protest planned against this club chairman after the United game as well, as fans expressed their anger towards the club chairman. For many Spurs fans, the idea of fresh ownership brings the hope of a renewed focus on winning titles, rather than just balancing the books. Yet, if Levy were to remain a central figure after a takeover, it might only prolong the sense of unrest among the supporters. If Qatari investors or any other potential buyers proceed with a deal, a key question will be whether they back Levy to continue running the club or opt for a clean break with a fresh leadership approach. For now, speculation continues, but one thing is certain: Tottenham's future is at a crossroads, and the coming months could define the club's direction for years to come. Tottenham are reportedly leading the pack for Eberechi Eze, who is one of their main targets for the summer, as the entourage of Heung-min Son are accepting that Spurs are looking into replacements. Spurs are one of a number of clubs linked with Eze in recent times. The Crystal Palace playmaker has been directly involved in 29 goals in the past season and a half. He has been a linchpin for his side since moving there in 2020, and that he's gone from strength to strength suggests a jump to a bigger club could see him improve further. TBR Football states, Tottenham's transfer plans are starting to advance already, and Eze is one of their top targets. In fact, it's believed they have already done work on his signing, leading to them currently being at the head of the queue. Their interest in Eze being ramped up comes amid the uncertainty over current forward Son's future. Though he has an extra year, with his deal running until 2026, Spurs board stopped an extension beyond that, with a separate TBR Football report stating the club are concerned Son will struggle to rediscover his best form and may lose his place as a starter. What's more, the forwards camp accepts that Tottenham are looking at forward options in a sign that he may no longer be at the forefront of their plans. If Eberechi Eze was signed, Spurs would have options to potentially replace Son. The Palace man has often played on the left of the attack or as a left midfielder, though he is seemingly most comfortable as an attacking midfielder. If he was needed to fill the gap on the left, he'd do a good job, having had success there with Palace. Spurs are trying to move to the front of the queue to sign Angel Gomes, and a big update has now emerged on how Ange Postecoglou and co are stepping up efforts to beat their Premier League rivals to the midfielder. It is easy to see why a few Premier League clubs are looking at Gomes, who has emerged as an extremely consistent performer for Lille over recent years and has found himself getting minutes for England. The 24-year-old has further demonstrated his versatility this season after Paulo Fonseca converted into a deep-lying playmaker. With Angel Gomes' contract running out in the summer, several clubs are seemingly looking to seize on the chance to offer him a route back to the Premier League. But a fresh update has now suggested that Spurs are trying to position themselves at the front of the queue for the midfielder. Spurs have sent an offer for Angel Gomes. TBR Football claim that in an effort to get ahead of the competition, Tottenham are now stepping up their efforts to land Gomes on a free transfer. It is revealed that Spurs were in talks with Gomes and his Lille teammate, Jonathan David, about a switch to North London, but Barcelona have now moved into pole position to sign the Canadian international. Gomes is still considering his options, with a return to England now looking a possibility for the player, who is allowed to sign a pre-contract agreement with non-French clubs due to his contract situation. According to the outlet, Postecoglou's men have now made Gomes an offer to move to the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium in the summer. TBR Football also say that the midfielder's former club, Man Utd, are not entirely out of the picture, but they have not pushed ahead with an offer for the player so far. However, Spurs' London rivals, West Ham, have also joined the Lilywhites in making an offer to Angel Gomes as the Lille star continues to explore his options. Additionally, clubs from Germany, Italy and Spain have also expressed interest in the Englishman, while Lyon is also an option for the player should he choose to remain in League One. That's it for today's update. If you like the video and want to keep up with everything Tottenham, be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for our latest content. Remember to give this video a thumbs up and share it with other Spurs fans. Let's build our Tottenham News Today community together. Thanks for watching, and as always, come on you Spurs.